everyone, welcome to the webinar of BIM Track, the game changer in BIM collaboration. First of all, I would like to thank you to accept the invitation to go for our webinar of BIM Track. Probably you have a lot of things to do today and you probably have a busy day, so thank you so much to be part of the presentations. My name is Eric, technical specialist with BIM Track. At the end of the presentation, we're going to be able to answer the questions that you may have on the chat, and our product owner, Carl, will be there to answer the questions. So who is BIM Track? Actually, BIM Track is part of the company BIM1. We have two divisions in our company. We have BIM1 with our BIM specialists, and also the second division is BIM Track for our software. So on the same team, we're involving two different groups, such as CanBIM, Building Smart, and BIM Quebec in Canada. So the planning for today is to look into the problems, into the typical coordination workflow that we may have today. After that, we can look into what is the benefits by using BIM Track on a project, look into a live demo, and we're going to look into the key benefits by using BIM Track on a project. So today, the typical problems that we can see into a project, for example, if you're looking into different stakeholders on a project, we have on the design phase the client, architects, engineers that are working into the models, and one of the pains that are people sending emails, try to communicate through different clashes from different viewpoints and issues. And after that, it becomes complicated to be able to see those models during the construction phase. So there's a lot of people involved. It's maybe difficult to have that control during the project. And also when you are looking into the design phase for the pre-construction phase, we have different exchange from different emails, PDFs, Excel sheets to try to track different issues, clashes from different softwares. So you can lose very easily the control of the project if we don't have any platform to be able to collaborate during a project. So what is very interesting with the BIM Track is you can centralize all of the information, all of the communication that you have on a project between the different stakeholders on the project. And then with our add-ins for Revit, Navisworks, and Tekla, you can track different issues from different viewpoints and with the software that you're working with. So everyone that is working into the project can all communicate through the same platform to resolve issues by the right person and on the right time. So what I'm going to show today during the demonstration of BIM Track, we're going to see how to see different viewpoints from different software, from Revit, Navisworks on the website, and be able to see the same viewpoints on each one of the software that you're working with. So if we're looking into the platform of BIM Track, when you have access to a project with BIM Track, when you are invited into a hub, you can be selected to different projects. So on the same team, you can be assigned to different projects on the same time. So now you can see my screen on the website of BIM Track. When you click on the issue page, you can have access to all of the communication that you have on a project. Issues created from Revit, from Navisworks, from Tekla with our add-ins. If you start a free trial, they're all free. So you can implement that into the software that you're working with. You have also the viewer of BIM Track. So if you wanted to visualize those issues that it was created from different softwares, you can see them on the viewer of BIM Track. And if you wanted to have a better control in your project, you have access to the metrics and the reporting on your project. So for example, if we open that specific issue, we can see that it comes from Revit, and also you can see the comments from people, and you can assign those issues to different status, different type, different priorities from different labels, disciplines, trades, in view to be able to track those issues on a project. So if we're looking back to the issue page, we can click on filters, and on that filter you can filter the issues on the project. So it can be from a specific people, by a due date, from different disciplines. It's just an easier way to track the issues. So if we're looking into Revit, for example, so what is very great with BIM Track, it's you don't have to send any emails to track different issues. When you wanted to track some comments or from issues or clashes, you don't just have to look into the issues with our add-ins for Revit, Tekla, or Navisworks. So it's just easier for you to working in context. You don't have to exchange any models. You just have to create an issue from a viewpoint. So it goes to the cloud, and then you're able to track those issues with a model that you're working with. So I'm going to show you my screen on Navisworks. So as you can see on the right side of the page, we can choose the hub and the project that you're assigned to. And you have the same list of the issues that we saw on the website of BIM Track. If you click on filter, so then you can fill the issues that are assigned to you or from different disciplines. Just an easier way to track those issues. So if we click on view and model, so then we can see the issue that was created from Navisworks. And then if we click on edit to edit the issue, so then we can type a comment or send a screenshot to resolve the issue. So for example, I can take put a comment to that issue. So what's the problem for this? Take a screenshot. So then the comment and the screenshot will be shared into BIM Track. And then you can see the name of the person, the date and time on the comments of the issue. So if we go to Revit, I'm going to open my models, choose also my hub and my project to work with my team. So if I'm looking to the same issue that I have just created from Navisworks, I just have to click on View Model, and then we have the exactly same viewpoint that it was created from Navisworks. So I'm going to give you an example, different example, how to create different issues on a project. First one, it will be from Revit, how to see an issue, to create an issue in Revit and see it in 2 different softwares. And also how to share some clashes from the clash report from Navisworks. So first of all, I'm going to update my viewpoint to create another issue. So as you can see, the HVAC goes on the structure, on the beam right there. So I can create an issue from that viewpoint. Then the process to create an issue, it's always the same in Revit, Navisworks, Tekla, and in BIM Track. So then you can put a title of the issue, for example, HVAC versus beam. You can put some markup to see where is the issue on your model, like this. Save it. And then you can assign the issue to a person from different priorities, different zones, different labels, different types of issues. But all of those options can be customized on the website of BIM Track, so you can have your own status, own phase, depending on the workflow that you already have on your project. If you select a team, so only that team will have access to the issue, so it gives you more control of your project to give the access to everyone on your communication in your project. And if you wanted to just assign one person, you can also notify people and team on your issue. So when you change the due date to resolve the issue, you just have to click on publish, and then the issue will be created. It will go to the cloud, and then we can see the same issue with the same viewpoints in Revit, Tekla, Navisworks, and in BIM Track. I can comment directly on the same issue for this one. So I can put a comment directly from Revit, take a screenshot, so then you don't have to send any emails to look into your issues, to communicate with your team. You just have to create an issue and communicate through the same issue. So then we can see the name of the person, the date, the time, and the comments also. Then when you assign an issue, if you put a comment, the people that are assigned to the issue will receive a notification by email to resolve it. So if you're looking to the same one on Navisworks, we can refresh the list of the issue. And then if we click on View Model, we're going to see the same viewpoints of the issue from Revit. There we go. If you wanted to communicate with your team to resolve this issue, you can open the same one, and then I can answer directly from Navisworks and send some screenshots too. So you don't have to send emails again. Everything is tracked to the issue, so you're working in context with the software that you're working with. So another example that you can do from Navisworks, you can share some viewpoints that you have. You can create an issue from a viewpoint, but you can also share your clashes and be able to see it in Revit, for example. So if we go to the clash report, I'm going to create a new clash report here. So let's say the structural versus the HVAC, run a test. And what is very interesting with Navisworks, you can group your clashes because they are all part into the same problem. So for that case, I can decide to create a small group with different clashes that are all in the same place. So they all looking into the beam and the HVAC. So then I can change different status of the clashes of my groups. And then if you wanted to see the same viewpoints, so then you just have to click on clashes to issues, choose the status that are reviewed, click on clashes to issues, and then when you select your clash list, the status of the clashes that you wanted to transfer, you will have one issue with all of the clashes that you have selected in your group. We suggest to select all of these options on the left side of the page in view to transfer the distance, the quick properties, the grid location of all of the clashes to the issues. And the process to create an issue is still the same from Revit. You assign issue to a person for different priorities, different zones. So for you guys, it's just easier to track your issues on a project, but also to look to the metrics and to create a report for a coordination meeting. Then you can set a view states, publish it to BIM Track. So we're going to have those clashes to the same issue. If you wanted to see those clashes on Navisworks, you just have to click on View and Model. And then we can create a section box and fit selection to see those clashes. If you wanted to see the same clashes, you can go to Revit, refresh the add-in list, click on View and Model, and then we're going to see the same viewpoints of the clashes. But as you see, we are into a perspective view, so we cannot see where's the clashes. So if we click on Selection Box, so then we have a section box created from Revit to see the clashes. Then you can decide to update a viewpoint if you want. And we can put this one as default. So every time that you wanted to see your group of the clashes, we can put that viewpoint from Revit, put as default, and publish it to BIM Track. So if you want to see that viewpoint with that section box, we can look at it on the website also, on the 3 viewer of BIM Track. So we just have to open the models from a different discipline. So you can be from the separate from architecture, MEP, or structural models. And you can also create some views. So you can come back here and I just wanted to change my project just to make sure. There we go. So if we're looking to the viewer of BIM Track, there we go. We can see our clashes from Navisworks. So if we open a new link to the viewer of BIM Track, we can see our models. We can also open all of the models on the same time, so it will save you a lot of time instead of opening all of the IFCs one by one from a viewpoint. And then you can click on the issue list and open the viewpoint that we have created from Revit, such as the clashes from Navisworks. We can also open the issue that we have created also from Revit with that viewpoint before. So as you can see here, we have a pinpoint. So if you're navigating through a model, you can click on a pinpoint. Then it brings you to the same location of the viewpoint that we have created from Revit before. So we can, if you're done using a Revit or Navisworks, We can you can navigate through the models into perspective view like this. So we can go inside of the building like this. So we can see inside of the building. For the client, it's very good because we can see the follow of the project, where we are on the project, and then we can decide to take a viewpoint. For example, this one. So we can select some elements. When we have selected those elements, we have the details on the project 3. And then we can decide to create a section box like this. And so with a viewpoint that we just created here, we're going to have the same viewpoint in Revit and in Navisworks and in Tekla. So we can click on Create, put a title of the issue. So let's say the still HVAC versus structural. We can put some markup to see where is the issue exactly on the model. Create. So if we go to Revit, for example, we can refresh the list of the issues, and we're going to see the same viewpoint that we saw on the website. So by the way, because it's web-based, so you can have access to the platform, the viewer BIM Track on any device. So it can be on your computer, on your tablet, or computer. So you just have to go on a website, put your email address and password, so then you have access to your communications in the viewer BIM Track. If we go to Navisworks and click on View and Model to the same issue that I just created from the website, we're going to see the same viewpoint. So the camera will bring you the exactly same location on your model from BIM Track. So as you can see, it's very easy to use. It's not complicated for non-BIM users, but also for people that wanted to improve the coordination process on a project. So they just have to create an issue, assign people to resolve it, and then anyone can have access to the same issues and the same viewpoints also. So if we go to the website, and we're coming back to the viewer BIM Track, as I said before, we have access to the project 3 from different disciplines or different projects. We can have access to the spaces. If you have different rooms that was created from Revit, we can see different rooms also. So I'm going to change that to perspective view. There we go. And then we can scale those rooms like this, so then we can see inside of the room also. On that page, on the menu, we have access to the categories, so you can select different colors depending on the categories or transparency with what you have chosen, but also on the project 3 if you wanted to compare different versions of your models. And as I said before, you have access also to the issue, and if you click on filters, you can filter your issue also on a viewer of BIM Track. So now you can see how you can communicate between Revit, Navisworks, Tekla, and BIM Track to create issues, to communicate with your team. So if we go to the metrics page, for the BIM manager, it's very interesting because, and for the clients, you have access to the data. You know exactly how many issues that are assigned to different teams or from different people. So if I select a person, I know exactly how many issues that we have from the person and from different status or from different priorities. And we also have a graph with the number of issues that are open versus which one are closed on a project. So you can see the follow-up, how the project goes. And from that, you can create a report from the attributes that we have chosen on the metric page. If we close those attributes, we can just print a report of all of the issues on the project, and click on print. From there, you can print a report or save as a PDF to have access to all of the issues that you have created on your project. And so on that PDF, you have the average time to close an issue, a graph with how many issues that you have by people, by different disciplines, priorities, by different zones. So again, you can change those attributes on the website of BIM Track. Then we have access to the issue that was created from the viewer of BIM Track, also the clashes from Navisworks, and all of the details of the clashes are transferred to the PDF. And we can see also an issue created from Revit, but also the comments from Navisworks, from Revit, with the name of the person, the date and time, but you can also see the comments from BIM Track. if you wanted to communicate with your team. So for example, if you are into a coordination meeting and you wanted to bring that PDF on a meeting and you wanted to resolve those issues, you just have to click on the title of the issue. So it brings you to the website, so then you can put a summary of what you have discussed on the meeting on BIM Track. So everything is connected between the softwares, but also on the PDF of your reports. It's just easier for you to collaborate on your project, to have a better coordination, and also to save you time on a project. So if we're coming back to my PowerPoint, so the key benefits by using BIM Track, as you saw today, BIM Track is on the middle to centralize all of the communication that you have on your project. With our add-ins, you can create issues, save the same viewpoints. Because we are open BIM, then you can share some BCFs, IFCs to the platform of BIM Track. And also you have access to different browsers, such as Chrome, Safari, Explorer, to have access to the website of BIM Track, but also on any device. And as you saw today, every time that you create an issue from Navisworks, Revit, Tekla, or on the viewer of BIM Track, you will have the same viewpoint in each one of the softwares. So to summarize what we saw today, if you're using one of the software that I just mentioned before, you're working in context with us, you don't have to go to the platform of BIM Track to track issues, to visualize the issues. You don't have to exchange any models, or you just have to create an issue, click on filter, and track your issues that are assigned to you. So it reduces emails, so you don't have to send any emails to track the issues. Everything is tracked on BIM Track. So because it's cloud-based, again, you don't have to exchange any models, and it's available on the web. You don't have to install anything on your computer. It's just available on the website to track the issues. So for that reason, it breaks silos. Everything is part on the same platform. Everyone can communicate to the same platform. So it engages the stakeholders. Everything is connected to the same platform, and it just show how you are transparent between all of the stakeholders on a project. So thank you so much to be part of the presentation today of BIM Track. Some of you guys are already clients of us. Some of you are curious to know a little bit more about BIM Track. So if you have any questions, you can reach us by phone or also on the chat on the website of BIM Track. If you have any questions, you can also sign up into the website of BIM Track to start your free trial. Download the add-ins, do some tests into a pilot project, and let us know if you have any questions. Just before to go to the questions with Carl, our product owner, I just wanted to create another poll, and from there, we're gonna answer the questions that we saw on the chat during the presentation. All right, thank you so much. So Carl, what are the best questions that we see right now?
All right, thanks, Eric. So we have a couple of questions here. I have a question from Paul. Can I create new issues that look at my Navisworks clash grouping and generate new issues automatically? For example, once I make clash group issues in Navisworks, do I have to make those issues all over again in BIM Track? So thanks, Paul, for the question. So basically, we have a feature in BIM Track in the Navisworks add-in. It's called Clash to Issue. So the Clash to Issue feature is really to streamline that process of converting clashes to BIM Track issues. So, for example, if you're grouping multiple clashes together, those clashes will be displayed in BIM Track as viewpoints. So in an issue, for example, you may have like 10 or 15 or 20 viewpoints, for example. So when you go in other softwares where the issues need to be solved, so for example, in Revit or Tekla Structure, you're able to display those clash locations as pinpoints in the model. So BIM Track is kind of creating like spheres in 3D so that you can create, as you saw in the demo from Eric, you can create section box around the location of those individual clashes to help people resolve it. So next question. So a question from Peter, can you add pinpoints to an Navisworks view? So this is something a lot of users have been requesting lately. So this is part of the roadmap. So right now, the only way to create pinpoints would be using the clash detection feature in Navisworks. But in the upcoming months, we're coming up with a way to locate a specific pinpoint of an issue, for example, in the model manually. So this is going to be available both in the add-ins, directly in the BIM software, and also in the web viewer. Another question from Paul, does BIM Track add-in also works for Navisworks Freedom viewer? So again, this is a question we have a lot. Unfortunately, we have some limitation with the application programming interface, which is the thing we use to launch the add-in. So basically, Autodesk is not making the API available in Navisworks Freedom, so it's impossible for us to run the add-in. So I would recommend, if it's something that you're looking for, that you send a request to Autodesk directly for that. Another question here from Todd: is the add-in compatible with Navisworks Freedom? Well, that's basically the same question. So again, it is not possible because we're blocked by Autodesk on this side. Is there any news on the AutoCAD SwitchBack feature? I know it works for Revit. Does it work for AutoCAD as well? So we're coming up with an AutoCAD add-in as well. So I would say like probably in the second quarter this year. So just in a few months. So this is something that a lot of users have been requesting as well for coordination with the subtrades. I think that's all. I don't see any other questions here. All right, so thank you very much for attending. I hope this webinar was enlightening or helping understand what BIM Track is solving. So like we're really like an issue management, issue tracking platform, and we're aiming at creating a bridge, a cross-platform communication channel between existing software solutions. So if you guys have any requests in terms of integration or connection with softwares you're using in your workflow, just feel free to reach out to Eric or me. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Carl. And if you have any questions, if you need to have another presentation to a specific workflow that you have right now on your project, and you wanted to see how we can resolve that with a BIM Track, just let me know. You can chat with me directly on the website, or you can reach me by phone also. Thank you so much, guys, for your time, and have a great day.